yeah, so Fnatic did pick Ascent, which is very interesting to me, because it seems like that's one of those maps that would heavily favor playstyle of PRX. But you know, I don't have full disclosure on what they were trying to do, and I can guarantee you that Fnatic definitely fought through the process of on vetoes and so on. So yeah, they let PRX have bind. So the thing with bind is, and I spoke with Inso about it as well, and I agree that Fnatic, I think on purpose, left bind because they are very comfortable on bind and they wanted to play against PRX composition with Yoru and like because it was very obvious how they're gonna play bind. So I think I need to close the window because it's so fucking loud. I'm actually more surprised about the Ascent pick by Fnatic than the bind ban. Than the bind, like letting through the bind. You know, that's for me. That's for me. Okay, let's talk about the compositions then. What are the difference? Both teams have fades. Both teams have KOs. Both teams have chamber, and then we have Boaster on Omen, and there's the Astra. So that's the difference. And then we have Sage from Alpha instead of the Duelist. And now I think the reason why we see Alpha on Sage here is just because they play against PRX and they expected PRX to play super duper fast. So when it comes to that, actually Sage is pretty decent at stopping pushes because of the slows. The slows have 6-second duration, slow down the push massively, and it basically Sage enables the rotations if there's a massive push on one of the defense side. But the problem is that this is Ascent, and they have Fnatic. They don't have literally any mobility. Like the only mobility is the shadow step. So the only way of like breaking through to the side is like smoke side, TP into it, and that's most likely not gonna happen. I actually can remember, but probably not gonna happen. And this is a huge problem for a map like Ascent, because on maps like Ascent, mobility like Jet Dash, Raise Double Satchel, stuff like that is actually insanely important, because otherwise you're gonna have to rely on defaulting and just by brute forcing your way through the entrance, which is very small for B main and A main, and that leaves basically mid control for you and short control. All of those have like very narrow narrow throats that feed into the exits, right? So it's very easy to be stopped by pushing, because Benkai has C's, Mind Freak has the pull, we have KO with the grenade, we have Jin with pain shells. Like the amount of utility that can stop a push, and with mobility you cannot do enough pressure, is actually truly terrifying. So yeah. That might be a problem. And Fred Steph, thank you so much for the tier 1 and for the 2 months. Welcome back, broski. Actually, wrong scene. Thank you so much for the 2 months. Welcome back. So this is gonna be pretty complicated for Fnatic on attack, but let's see first on defense, because defensively this should be a composition that stops the PRX aggression in the first opening sequences.
Wow, we are right into the pistol, bitch. You were saying earlier,
the wall on pistol is hard to destroy, right?
Not on this roster, so certainly no questions of comfort ground on the agent itself.
Alpha didn't like do very specific wall that would benefit him, because he was in an odd corner, and because of that Chamber's already like out. Okay, but as you can see, it stopped the push in the first like 10 seconds of what PRX tried to do. And look at the minimap right now. Chamber is controlling the wine. KO is playing off contact of the trap of the chamber on A, so they have a very defensive setup, but also because KO plays very close to the chamber, right, and chamber is in range of his TP, he doesn't have to be worried about it, because that's where chamber has like contact. When someone comes into this position, he gets a first blood or something, TPs into heaven and then repeaks, and KO plays as well from here. So this is actually pretty good setup on A. The problem is they cannot rotate till they actually have any kind of like aggression on B that goes through the garage doors. So the rotation might happen a little bit later if will be needed. Let's see what's gonna happen later.
What the call's going to be. Now, I will say last time they played, Benkai was excellent at pulling in those rotations, but they've got the
that got of 3 players.
Within B, and you can see that there are already 3 players set up here for Fnatic.
Yeah, they might have heard 3 players shoot.
You can see the look at what we were seeing. Actually, this is a bad smoke. This is Boaster making a bad smoke, and look what is happening. Look at the positions of the players. Look how they go. You see this? Wait. This smoke leaks a little bit into the side, and you can see from the movement of the players how they get a little bit of confidence because of that. Look,
Yeah,
see, they go into the smoke because they know that this leaks, and it gives them a little bit of space, just this amount of space that you have here, because this is outside of doorways. Like doorways are here. Right? This is the doorways. This space here is being gifted by the smoke, which is something that PRX will try to take advantage of, right? And you can see it. And because of that, Alpha will have a terrible cross replacement, and he will have to rely on her, like, you know, really fucking insane reactions. If they push out, of course.
Certainly about to face the contact with 4, about to burst out of the smoke. Alpha closes out that door, but
see, he doesn't even hold it. Oh, that was a very good example. Look at the smoke. Look at the smoke. See this? This is actually even more space than I thought it will be. It's so much space that was gifted here by Omen. And because of that, PRX literally just bursted out like that, and Alpha couldn't hold the smoke because the smoke wasn't the best. That's a very good example.
Decent damage. Boaster tries to follow up and actually gets out for free. 2 kills and they reset completely. Benkai has to find value on this flank, but the players, they're not obliging. They're going back. They fake the steps all the way. Actually, it seems they have an idea. He could be close.
Benkai has a great lurk, but the very huge awareness by Mystic here on KO that doesn't just over-rotate. And they know that there might be most likely 1 lurker on mid. Right, now the trap is being destroyed. He leaves mid. Omen,
even still though, the initial awareness dissipates. Benkai
oh my god, dude. That is the moment when I'm almost certain, that Boaster at this moment looks at the minimap and tries to like orchestrate what is gonna happen, right? But this is one of those moments that I, like always when I do a Fnatic review, there's always at least one moment like that each map, where Boaster is caught off guard because of that, because of his IGL responsibilities. And it doesn't help that he's playing an agent that relies also on map awareness because of the smokes. So this is a big problem. That's something that, in my eyes, like FPX has definitely, Fnatic has definitely have to fix.
A little bit wild at the end, but I don't think they'll mind too much.
Yeah, I do like the idea. Obviously, the initial fights went massively in favor of Fnatic, and that double kill just stalls them out so much.
Yeah, but Boaster got the initial double kill with the Frenzy, and essentially rescued the round because he allowed the aggression to happen in the first place by the bad smoke. Alright, so this was pretty like this was a pretty heavy duel-based round. Like, if Boaster didn't get 2 there, Alpha died for 0, essentially, because he was stuck in a corner because of the bad smoke.
Had to leave that spawn open, that little gap exploited, and we're already seeing that level of play in the pistols, which should be fun as we go on through. But this one here, Tom, you know, not too much to write home about in the PRX side. Maybe this Headhunter can get something.
Yeah, something to mention as well is they're already going for the same aggressive utility usage that we've seen from them. So a lot of the time you're going to have this seize combo alongside.
Well, the gun stayed, the body didn't. That's the problem. That's the problem with the TP. Look, he has a Spectre, right? He bought 7 bullets as well. That is so odd for me. That is actually so odd for me because he bought 7 bullets when he has a Spectre. I don't agree with this. If you're a chamber that buys a Spectre on the second round, I typically will not buy bullets because you never know how much cash will you need in the future. And by the way, when he dies here like this, when he TPs, this is a very weird interaction that not many people know about. So he TPs from wine into heaven, right? That's his reaction, but he dies mid TP. And the problem is that they have a Sage, right? So if he would have, if Alpha would have an ult, he can res the chamber on Haven. But this chamber resurrects without the weapon because the weapon stays at wine. Because that's where he died, but just the body TP'd out. It's a very weird interaction that I don't think many people actually paid attention to, ever.
Aggressive utility usage that we've seen from them. So a lot of the time,
Yo, Hollow, thank you much for the 1 year. Holy shit. Thank you so much. New subscriber badge from you, my friend.
To deny that early aggression, which we just saw from Durka. It didn't, because he managed to run past it before it actually got used, but I guess they killed him off anyway.
It's interesting to see that used up in this round as well, where you don't really have that much to work with, but I suppose just lighten up that player if they do get caught would be worthwhile.
ADS, my
So
friends.
far it is Durka, and no one else will lose their life. So all things considered, a decent round. Alpha, unfortunately, not going to be able to get his hands on any.
Makes sense. I have been revived a few times now that way, and I was wondering where my gun is. Now you know. Now you know. Now you know.
Those weaker weapons can do a hell of a lot of damage. And coming into this
Can I be wrong, but chamber for both 8 bullets, not 7? Doesn't matter, like if it's 7 or 8. In general, I just didn't like the fact that he bought bullets where he was on the Spectre. You know?
Cash ready for this round, but this is where things get a lot tougher for Fnatic. You've got
Alright. Any ultimates? Not really. It's a problem, actually. It's a really huge problem for Fnatic that the Boaster got so many kills. And not, for example, Mystic, Durka, or Enzo, or even Alpha. Like, it's actually a big problem that Boaster got the most kills because their ultimates are not working right now. And even if Boaster gets his ultimate this round, it's like, oh, okay, thank you, Omen. So, they don't have, like, this additional firepower in case of the ultimates, right? Imagine if Enzo would have been 4 out of 7, right? Or 5 out of 7. Imagine if, like, this is especially important on anti-eco pistol, on anti-eco rounds. This is the moment where you want the players with the most expensive and most powerful ultimates to grab their orbs, right? This is the moment. But unfortunately for Fnatic, it was Boaster who got all the kills because he had good positioning, and then of course he's gonna go for the kills.
Might be one of the best entries in the world at just getting into that A site.
How did that not see Durka? Okay, well, they've taken him down, eh?
Now Durka has no gun, he has to use a Headhunter. If he has round, he would have only bought Headhunter bullets, he could have used Vandal. I mean, there's few considerations. I don't mind a Chamber using a Spectre. I don't really mind. But the problem is, Alpha had a Frenzy, and I feel like it was definitely firepower based. If this will be a firepower based round, it would make more sense to have Alpha on Spectre and Durka on the Headhunter, you know? Although I do not like the fact that if you play an anti-eco with Chamber on the Headhunter, well, then you need to body shot a player 2 times to kill him if they didn't force, right? And that goes even on the cash. It's like, you know, and you don't transfer the gun for the next round, right? So it doesn't build as much as economy. Yeah, I don't like this at all. I don't like this at all. So this fight, I like the first initial, like, this is, I think this might be some miscommunication because Enzo essentially gets the info, right? And then he peeks with the Spectre. Remember, this is a lower buy. This is a bonus round for Fnatic, right? And it's a true bonus round because they have the cash for the next round. So the fact that you're gonna see Enzo peek this, take fight, right? And then hide and wait for Alpha contact. The fact that Enzo didn't white peek to get that trade is really odd to me. Look, he white swings, no contact. Now he waits for contact on Alpha because he baited for him. Alpha unfortunately dies, but this is the moment where Enzo should be white peeking. Like white peeking with the Spectre. Or like, not even, maybe even in this direction right here, not in the straight line, because he doesn't want to expose himself too much from this angle, right? But he should be trading here alpha. And the fact that he does not is a huge problem.
Good connection by Forsaken.
He does it too late. See?
Who was supposed to be the bait for the player up close is having to retreat to the site. That was dodging bullet. It
Good morning, sir.
He's 5 HP now.
Yeah, this was really badly played by Fnatic.
You've got a lurk in mid as well if there's any rotation through there, and Mystic is slowly walking to what seems like his demise.
Hippie, you can rewatch the beginning of the world. I want in depth why they play Sage instead of Raze.
Try and clear this last man out, and there you go. It's at least one kill. Some cost in the bonus round, but ultimately, PRX have kept this squeaky clean.
Yeah, he's managed to make it out towards short as well. I mean, a save is technically possible, but Boaster might almost just want to issue some more damage.
He needs to do more damage.
Oh, that nade close.
Boaster definitely needs to try to get at least one more kill, and this is fantastic for him because right now he built a lot of economy for himself, and he also ruined one gun for the opponents. 100% PRX should never have hunted Omen. Never. This is like really actually bad play by PRX. If they would never hunt the Omen, they would have never lost that one additional gun, so they would build up more economy. And on Ascent, on attack, it's actually insanely important. So them just going for the kill here showcases that they don't care about the economy, which is very odd.
Anyway, so this is where the game really gets going. Doesn't seem like there's going to be an operator just yet for Durka though, and that's probably the main danger on this defensive side, is once he gets that op in play, he's a true menace.
See, this is the thing that annoys me. Durka always buys the maximum bullets, man. Like, why? I don't get this. This is like really odd for me. Wait. How many bullets did he shoot in the previous round? That's Forsaken. Durka was in a gunfight, right?
I don't see Durka.
He shot 2 bullets. Right? Did I see correctly?
In the world, just getting into that A site.
How did that not see Durka?
He shot 2. I know I'm nitpicking, right? I know I'm nitpicking, but the fact that he shot 2 bullets and then rebought them when he's playing on a low buy, on a full buy here is, I don't know. This is like really weird decision making for me. This makes no sense. As a chamber player, your job is to build up as much economy as possible. And the difference between 6 bullets and 8 bullets, when you have a Vandal alongside it, like, there's no difference here. But you just spent 200 credits that you will not get back, like, ever, this game, right? And imagine sometimes that you will have a round where you're gonna have, like, oh shit, I'm 200, like, short of buying an operator. That is actually a very big possibility. And the fact that Durka doesn't build up that economy while playing chamber, I think it's a huge issue if this is happening over the course of many games, because there's 100%, there are 100% rounds where this will bite them back. You know, like 1 bullet is 100 credits per 100 credits per 1 bullet, and I can guarantee you this is a slight mistake.
Just yet for Durka though, and that's probably the main danger on this defensive side, is once he gets that op in play, he's a true.
See, Forsaken doesn't buy bullets here. Look at Forsaken. He's playing with 3, and that's more than enough. If you use it as a secondary gun, right? You don't need more than 5, essentially, in a round that you have already a primary rifle. And you're gonna try to buy a rifle anyway, almost every round, unless you're gonna rely on the headhunter. And if you rely on the headhunter, that means that you have nothing else. And if you have nothing else, then you can spend the cash on bullets in that round. Otherwise, you're just putting a lot of cash into bullets that you might not use for the next 6 rounds.
Menace for now, much more of a standard buy.
Yeah, light shields to work with, 2 away from getting the tour de force online, and immediately we're going to have the challenge. Durka safe down below. Has the TP out if he needs it. So that control, it's going to be capped.
This is like a 0 mid control play by PRX, and they just play in front of A, in front of B. Not trap setup, by Forsaken yet, because they want to set it up when they're pushing into something.
Fake information, Tom. They might think at this point that they're actually pretty clear around mid, that Fnatic don't have that information.
A good smoke by Omen this time. Oh, it's but unlucky. Benkai shot it too early. Okay, so he uses Forsaken uses the trap, even though they had no mid control. This is so high risk, medium reward. They didn't use the trap because they thought that Fnatic will not push mid for any control at all, so they don't need the trap, right? And now they're using it essentially like an alarm board from Killjoy, but you cannot recall it, to check a corner.
This is going to have to be a reset out of PRX with that early round. A lot of this comes down to if Dirk is going to be caught in mid or not. It's just so much info for Fnatic to hold for free.
Yeah, they're slowly making that rotation back.
That's a seize, by the way. That is so awkward.
To be a little bit deeper instead, though, you're going to have the showstopper.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that's fucking lucky for Enzo. But he's being caught off guard. I mean, no way you can blame him here. Like, no way you can blame him here. That is just like, you know, he had a terrible positioning. But what you can blame here is Mystic's position. Look at Mystic, how he wants to go. Like, this is the ranked thing that happens. A player rotating from A to B through short is typically dead by the player that is just holding mid. And that literally happens here. That is really not a good rotation by Mystic, because he leaves the position, he leaves the lane that is guarded by the trap, and he is just dead before. Like, this is a huge issue for Fnatic actually, because look at the minimap. Alpha did use the wall to wall off essentially CT, so they can have a free passage towards B side, so they can defend it. But Mystic died before that even like was happening. See, like they have no info, so Mystic over rotates, dies on mid, and essentially frees up the space on A. And because of this, they will be certain of using A as a hit instead of B, because Fnatic is just now stripped of information.
The wall's been used to almost give them an avenue back in on the retake, but with the lurk finding Mystic, they might just rotate here.
Yeah, that got Dirk
huge problem by Mystic. Like this is actually round losing frag, you know. And Boaster again. This same situation, guys, as in pistol round. See? Same situation as it was in pistol round.
This early round really didn't go their way, but they have recovered so nicely on that, and it's Mind Freak to close the round with a
really odd.
I think that's the opposite. They're still holding to Maze for.
All right, now we have Fnatic on lower buy. Dirk is one off. So he's gonna play Headhunter this round and just ultimate next round, I guess. Forsaken is not using his ultimate this round.
Forsaken is something we'll see many times out of this guy. We talked about it, his neon aggression in there.
Yeah. That it was so obvious and well played by PRX. PRX were literally, yeah, we're gonna get pushed because, you know, they are lower by, we're expecting them to push. And Alpha gets punished. Derke doesn't get punished because he's playing fucking Chamber, but Alpha gets punished by that. And it's a very obvious push. This is something that I don't really understand at pro level. Is like, whenever the team has a lower buy, somehow they get super aggressive. But it's so easy to read, you know? It's so easy to read because people expect you to push, like in ranked games, where they are on lower buy, oh, they're gonna push us because they have nothing to lose. So you just stand still. And you just use the flashes, you know?
Bit more as he takes down Enzo. Of course, only pistols that he's up against, and well, PRX.
Alright, this is nothing interesting.
Boost, but I don't know why you wouldn't use.
I'm sorry, what? Why is Derke playing an operator where he has his ultimate? So he's playing without armor. Does he sell this?
Now I guess they're just saving it because
what? What? Like, that is just straight up fucking massive misplay. Like, what the fuck? What the absolute fuck? And also the fact that, you know, he's now short 400 credits of having shields that he probably spent on bullets for no reason at all. But this is, even if you had cash for the shields, this is a huge fucking mistake. Huge mistake, right? Because of the Vi ultimate? Alright, that's a valid point. But still, I don't like this. I really don't like this. Because the thing is, he's the only player that can avoid the ultimate by TPing out early and then not being in range of it. He can also just play mid control instead of just controlling A or B main. But the problem is that if he goes for that, he is not building up the ult economy, because if he saves the operator, then he is not using his ultimate for the next round. But for me, even with the Vi ultimate here being available to him, this is, in my eyes, a problem. This, like, I don't like this. This is like overthinking it, in my eyes.
They go, well, why waste it around where the rest of us have weapons when he can...
This is overthinking it.
I suppose so.
If you have this position like Davai has ultimate, he will probably push with the ultimate. Play on mid. Play on mid so you don't get fucked by it. So you control still something and other players can just like play on the other sides of the map. While Durka could be able to build up the ult economy for other rounds. It's already like, it's only round 6. If he's not gonna use his ultimate here, he might actually only use it once this half. And of course he's playing with the no shield. So I don't know, man. If I would be in this in Fnatic shoes right here, my call would be, if you really don't want to play the ultimate from chamber, then play full shields Phantom or full shields like Vandal, whatever. Just don't play the operator. Just don't play the operator, because you're gonna get pushed. If they go with the ultimate, they're gonna push like 5-man, you know, or 4-man push with a lurker, and they're gonna go with abundance of utility, so you're gonna have a hard time holding angles anyway, and you playing only 100 armor, which makes you more susceptible to dying while trying to TP.
And not Durka losing.
And yeah, you can see Forsaken is not buying bullets even though he has 5.8k.
It could also be the fact that
because he doesn't need more than 3.
A null command. And it's just like, does he want to go into a position with no weaponry?
Absolutely nothing, yeah.
So it's like, you're looking at the ultimates on the other side and you're going, okay, I'll play my operator so I definitely have a gun. And you know what? I like Duck having a gun as well.
Yeah, they might expect.
And now he's retaking. Now he's retaking with an operator and armor. So most likely he's gonna save, right?
Not in the right position to find them. They've gone in towards
Yeah.
the A side, and
This is a save.
Dirk is now left in mid, op in hand, no shields, and an Odin for Enzo spraying away, finding nothing. Durka won't even get a chance to fire a bullet. This is a depressing round for Fnatic, Tom. They had their ideas with their op and their Odin, but that A side hold just did not.
I don't think I need to comment on this,
No,
right?
And normally someone who is incredible.
Now, imagine that this is a save. Imagine that Durka doesn't die. Imagine that Enzo doesn't die, and they transfer the operator. They transfer the operator and the Odin to the next round. What does Durka do? Does Durka drop the operator to someone else so he uses the ultimate? Probably not. That means that he's not using his ultimate for 2 rounds, and he's gonna try to save the operator for the 3rd round. That means that he's not using his ultimate for 3 rounds. Like, it's definitely not optimal play, you know?
Good on this
But this round is just a disaster.
kind of getting shut down.
Absolute disaster for Fnatic.
Or even just in this round, just straight up entry. And a lot of the fights that Fnatic were taking there, they're risky. You're basically facing off against the full force of PRX, and well, I think one thing that PRX does maybe better than anyone, firstly getting entries, but secondly just that raw trading off the fact that their synergy is so on point. So to try and take those risks, okay, maybe it works against lesser opposition or the opposition
really feeling his way through the. That's what the extent. They've had a judge.
All right. So Durka is most likely using the ultimate. He bought again full bullets. What? Slight mistake on PRX side. Davai didn't buy a gun where he should have bought it for Benkai. Like, small mistake. I mean, it's not a small mistake. Big mistake on PRX side because it's around 7. They can still lose the entire bank. So not even gaining this 1k by dropping a gun by Davai to Benkai is a mistake. Now, he has a trap on short, as always. But this is mind-boggling to me. Mind-boggling.
PRX this time though playing much more of a default Tom. This isn't like the last
interesting trap.
Avoided Durkas off completely and won the round.
Unlucky shot.
This was going to be much slower. Maybe
although Forsaken not buying bullets this round is also a mistake. He's at 7.8 and they have a full bank. Forsaken should be buying additional bullets right now to like 6.
The opportunity for Durka to find one a little later.
Yeah, in a very aggressive position. You can actually see the early utility use from PRX as well, is expecting him to be in B main. They had a gravity wall to just try and pull him into the open.
This can bait them into peeking.
I don't know if they'll expect him to be this close. Peek around the corner though, he's...
Well, I'm gonna essentially bait it.
To a judge. And of course it's the classic that gets the kill from Enzo.
I was boasting with a judge, by the way. He didn't shoot a single bullet.
Levi is playing again. This is the second time now
Hello,
we've seen
Matsi.
him play the Odin on the attack.
Oh, you can't judge him when he just blasts right past you, Jing. Huge space taking, huge
Oh, he
damage.
almost killed 2.
Enzo down low.
They can jump on this wall without anyone knowing about it.
You can see Alpha 67.
Very nice repositioning by PRX. Fnatic has no clue what's going on.
That's the thing, they didn't rotate. After the last round where they got baited in by this switchback, they've actually left players behind. Mystic has slowed them right down. The only player still here is Davai.
30 seconds, 25. They've got to get a move on.
Okay.
That slow is still there. Even more so now, Durka.
The smoke, you know what's funny is that the smoke here on short, it covered the trap. So it baited the player into peeking here, so Chamber just gets a free kill. I wonder, I'm guessing this was intentional, but if it was not intentional, then Durka played well off it.
Kill, it puts a slow field on the floor. He has a trap to cover them pushing through. They're going right back, but this site is
12
still
seconds.
Devi's been waiting patiently. Good spam, good damage. 6 seconds though. They
5
need to plan
seconds.
right now. They're already planting it out. Just let them pass. He baited them in and won the round for the team. Utterly ridiculous as Fnatic take 3.
I mean, this is a round that was gifted by Forsaken by being over-aggressive, right? And then PRX was never PRX was never connected together, you know? So they essentially just got outplayed by the control that Fnatic had. It's really odd all around, really an odd round, but it's single-handedly thrown by Forsaken being over-aggressive against an eco.
With a tour de force,
a literal ranked play, you know?
Any team in the world is no.
Hello, Brave.
That was not optimal. I don't know, watching it back, if Alpha actually realized the player jumped past him, or if he just went, they're planting?
Where are they? Oh, hey, bud.
Guys, are they planting A? What's going on?
How you doing?
How did you get there? Just jumped right over his head.
I'm gonna have to stop you doing that.
Default play from PRX for the first time.
Dirk has been spotted.
Standard play by Fnatic. Omen was controlling mid a little bit, but he had actually no control. They just get out for no... What is this setup by Fnatic? What the fuck?
He's just gone walking into the site alone. The danger of this man! And they've even spotted Boaster.
That is just... I don't know.
He's like, you know what? If you want to push me, you have to try and get through the
Alpha plays really nicely here. That wall was actually really nice, but he almost dies anyway. I don't know what happened here.
So that Prowler was breaking the wall. The wall broke. Forsaken went around the other side. I don't know if there was a gap.
Oh, there's a gap in the wall. Oh my god, look. Like, wait. There was a gap on the other side of the wall. Here, look. It doesn't seem like it has from this perspective, but there's a gap here, so a player can just go in. Like and you know, Alpha is, for this duration of 6 seconds from here, he is still deaf, so he will not hear when someone is pushing him. So he misplayed a little bit of the wall. If he would have put it a little bit more to the left, he would have covered the other entrance as well, because sees how much space he has here that he could reuse on the other side, but he was doing this very fast. And yeah, that's pretty awkward.
So that Prowler was breaking the wall. The wall broke. Forsaken went around the other side.
But it's still like, it's not even important, because this round was just completely disjointed by Fnatic. They had no control over B main, so Forsaken just went in, just kind of walked in, and that's it. Over-aggression by PRX.
W mniej niż 24 godziny będziesz miał na swoim koncie 1000 euro, a potem 1000 euro dziennie przez...
It's fantastic.
Not gonna have any post-plant stars or anything like that to worry about. Fnatic getting their way into the site. Bankai around the nade, but he's only able for the one. And a quick follow-up. Gonna have any post found the first. That's for
this was a 3v3. Look, 3v3, one player in B main. I'm not sure why is even Forsaken fighting here. He has no TP setup. Like, he just wide swings and dies before anything is happening during this retake. This is, in my eyes, a huge mistake in the post plant. Like, that's about it. Like, that now the B player has absolutely no impact, because the B player should be the pressure player, right? And the pressure play comes in when the retake starts. But he's now not able to do that because there's only one player on B, so he's essentially swarmed, and the B player can be held back because there's only one player on site that the other team will probably know of, right? So this is essentially a fucked up situation just because of Forsaken's overpeak.
Getting their way into the site. Bankai around the nade, but he's only able for to kill me down. Jar sticking again. That duel is right away, but no worries. Dirk is able to TP.
What? What just happened here? Right.
Yeah. I mean, you saw how quickly those kills came in. That's something you're definitely not going to want to account. The majority of rounds in. Prowler right away, but no worries. Dirk is able to.
No, this is not it, my friends. No trade set up. Bankai is like, dude, why are you inting? Why are you inting, bro? I'm taking the orb, man. Like,
and again, that duel is found. Last round, Jing went blast packing into Wine to try and take down Durka, who just promptly
no discipline.
Out and had Mystic walk.
Oof, and Forsaken just oh my god, dude. They're 100 times better than you? Yeah, there's a reason why they play on pro level and I don't. And you can also just shut the fuck up and fuck off if you have nothing important to add. And this is a problem with Forsaken's like confidence as well here. Look, he's playing Chamber, he has the TP set up. He is in a disadvantageous situation. He is peeking into a player, the other player has the first reaction, and Forsaken is not TPing out, he's just committing to a gunfight. This is fine on any other agent than Chamber. Chamber, when he is in such a disadvantageous situation right here, like this, he should be TPing out. This is 100% a mistake by Forsaken, because being overconfident here in this gunfight makes no sense. You're literally the one character that you can take those gunfights, and when he's at a disadvantage, you just press E.
I mean, you still have that AWP of Boaster to worry about? Didn't think I'd be saying that.
You know, we'll see. He's basically just holding the most passive angle ever. Like, that's probably the reason behind it.
In our spawn?
Like, yeah, he's just
camping.
holding the cross.
He's actually camping.
He is.
It's one of the only times you'll actually see that. But yeah, right in their spawn. The pressure is on B though. At least that's what it seems like, Mind Freak. He might just have threaded the needle.
My God.
I think he did. But Durka saves the day anyways. Catching that frag, spike down on B. And Bankai.
No, Enzo! No, Enzo! Oh no, taking this gunfight right here. Using the Prowler, not peeking, is fantastic.
Catching that frag,
using this, look, Prowler gets him. Look where the other player is. Look where other player is. In CT, not even fucking close. And this is the only player left. Enzo being alive here is instrumental to winning this gunfight, this round. If he's alive, if he's just using his utility to stop this plant, to get the info, Boaster gets in, and they have a 2v1. Right now, this is a 1v1 that Enzo loses, and this is possible actually to clutch out by Benkai now.
That pressured for time,
only because of that.
Enzo gone. He might even get a plant out of this.
Like,
in the spawn,
huge mistake.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I don't think Benkai expected to be peeking into an operator there, but even still...
Do you prefer the chamber meta right now or pre-nerf jet meta? I prefer this meta way much more. Like, the old pre-nerf jet was just so fucking ridiculously good. Like, the character was just fucking broken.
Most passive ways humanly
That's
possible. But one of them, the wall he's putting down there, is to allow his teammates back into the site if they need to retake without being pincered in from that spawn area, from that...
What was the Sage wall like that? Because it allows the defensive player to rotate rotate through CT to side before being spotted, and also not allows the opponent to go into CT. So it funnels the opposing players into the site.
FNATIC have been very...
Jing with the ultimate. I wouldn't mind actually in the rounds where Jin has the ultimate to swap the Mystic position with someone else. Like get Enzo to A side with Chamber and Mystic on the B side with the Sage, because of course this might be overthinking, but if PRX is like, yo dude, Jin, can you double satchel into the side, right? Yeah, sure, I can. But don't go A side, because that's where Mystic plays the default position and he can just knife you. So it would be like, oh, okay, then I go B and do that. Okay.
Aggressive just to almost try and deny this. But early in the round, again, mid control going to be battled for, and Jing slowly making his way through B main.
Yeah, this round Forsaken's a little bit more of a duelist. He doesn't have a trap to play with, so...
Forsaken just goes... Look, oh, this is awkward. But he knows there's no trap. So they use an early, very interesting ultimate from PRX, actually very nicely read by PRX. They're almost certain that no one is playing in this area here. So they don't need the ultimate here. And they just focus on the ultimate on site, which gives them a lot of information. Because if someone is if they get the info that 2 players are hit by the ultimate on site, that means that no one is playing in market and CT. If they get 1 hit, that means that someone is on market or CT. It's actually very, very nice ultimate. They get 1, they get the second, so now they know. This is why Jin just goes in, and he's almost certain that he doesn't even fucking need smokes right now, because there's no one playing there. There's, like, that player is already controlling market, so the only possibility is a CT player, but there's no way there's a CT player, because someone has to be controlling mid. Like, someone has to be controlling mid when there's no trap on mid. And there was no trap on mid. That means that the 2 players that are being spotted by the ultimate, the CT is completely free.
Players already going to be stunned up on site.
Oh, he butchered the satchels.
Damn thing deafened as the showstopper comes in. It's not finding the kill. It's not finding anything.
He still gets one.
Oh
yeah, he's dead.
Should be a nice easy kill. And so the plant comes through. PRX 4v2. Operator on Turk for the retake. Certainly not ideal, but he's winning it towards middle. And Tom, device sitting around there.
A little bit unfortunate.
Chcecie zarabiać $1000
Dude, what the fuck?
dziennie? A potem $1000 każdego dnia?
Tak, bardzo. Why is the even peeking here? Like, this is a call to save. 100%. He had an operator, right? Why are you even trying this? This is in CS. In CS, this is a call, let's save. It's 2v4. They almost didn't use like you know, anything to go into the site. We didn't do any damage. There's a slight chance they're overpeak, yes. But if we don't get like at least 2 kills before we go to site, this is a save.
It seems like they do expect the lurk in every spot, but Devi...
What language is that? That's Polish, my friend. I don't understand those calls here.
just going to try and escape out of there.
Yeah, and now he has to save this operator.
The operator device blinded himself.
Yeah, I'm disappointed by Fnatic's defense. The calls, the buys, it's really awkward. This is not the Fnatic that I was expecting to see from EMEA, you know?
So he dies, so Jing can trade him, grab an ult orb. Yeah, that's what it was. Big brain divide, we respect it, that's for sure. 5-5, PRX call. And little bit of mid skirmish coming out of Mind Freak, presumably using some. For a second,
again in the same position. He just went out of the. Dude, he is standing in a fucking slow. Why are you wide swinging this when you have the range of the TP? Look, he's literally going outside of the range of the TP. I don't get this. See, his jacket is black. He's outside of the range of the TP. He purposefully shifted out of the range.
That's a strategy, all right.
Yeah, it's a bad one. Thank you, Mitch. Whenever Mitch says that's a strategy, my friends, that means that he's fucking upset, but he can't really curse on screen, so he just says, yeah, it's a strategy. But he doesn't say it's a shit strategy.
Fair enough, okay. He's tried to be a little bit cheeky and more. He's been shut down by Durka, who I guess for the majority of the map has been on the other side. He's been fighting in towards A.
He didn't even have an anchor, right? Like, that. He was way past where his anchor reaches to inside that slow.
Maybe he was on the edge. I don't think he cared.
I don't think he gave a damn.
I don't think that was even a thought. He was like, hey, how far can I get? Are they going to stop? He's walked into B multiple times and got a multi-frag. I don't doubt anything Forsaken does anymore.
Yeah, he does what he wants. Mystic.
What is the spacing, man?
Nice
I don't get this. I really don't understand like the pacing. Look at short, right? They have the.
Hello there.
They're next to each other here on short, right? Mind Freak is holding garden, but there's no point in holding garden unless someone pop flashes through it, right? But they know from the earlier information that Mystic, like overall, doesn't play really garden. He just anchors the side, right? And the spacing here is just like, oh, okay. Well, I guess I cannot trade. Mystic overheats though. And he doesn't use the cover that the smoke gave him. He should have hide into the smoke because the smoke is on purpose like this to help him out. Mystic just goes, no man, don't smoke me like this, and just wide swings and just dies. When his job was to be alive because of that smoke.
Oh, a nice spray reset, but leaves Mind Freak with a sliver of health. That's enough. Boaster stuck in the back of the site.
Players doing stupid things trickles down to rank players doing even stupider things, yes?
Powerless, what a timing! Paranoia online anyways, so he doesn't mind about being powerless.
Huh?
Health. That's enough.
Wait.
Oh, a nice spray reset, but leaves Mind Freak with a sliver of health. That's enough. Boaster stuck in the back of the
4v3.
Doesn't have paranoia online anyways, so he doesn't mind about being powerless. What a timing from Mind Freak. Right up behind them in heaven. Alpha
good timing, but I don't know. Like, spacing between the players is just bad, again.
He finds that kill, who knows?
You know? It's just... spacing from both teams is just so odd. That no one waits for the retakes, everyone just goes alone. I don't know, man. Why is PRX so successful even though they're too aggressive and lacking discipline compared to other pro teams? I literally explained it on Fnatic's example here. You can rewatch this VOD if you're not watching it from the beginning. Would you recommend a mic arm even if it's just for gaming and no streaming? If you like neat stuff, yes. The low profile arm that I have from Elgato is fantastic. The best profile arm that I have ever had in my life. It's just so neat to have it underneath heaven, you know? Yeah, underneath monitor. What I'm talking about. I'm just like paying attention to two things at the same time.
Yeah, this is the pace that works best for Jing. You see him in the rounds where things are slow, maybe not playing his best.
The smokes, man. My heart, bro. My heart. Look at the smokes on heaven. Look at the smokes on heaven, man.
See the runs where they say, let's
wait, did he just fake it? I think he faked it because he realized, no, I can't make this smoke. I think he literally faked it. He did the first smoke badly, and the second smoke was also in the same exact bad position, so he faked it because he knows it's garbage. I think the first one was still bad. Whoa, what the fuck, Boaster. That is amazing play with the Enzo ultimate, because the thing is, now when they're... how many players were tagged by the ultimate? Let me check.
This is the pace that works best for Jing. You see him in the rounds where things are slow, maybe not playing his best game. You see the runs where they say, let's just go in.
Tags 3 people. Right? Tags 3? Yeah, tags 3 people. So Boaster's like, yeah, fuck it. So he goes in, no one from side hears him, and the only players from A side can hear him. Okay, sorry, from A main can hear him.
Fighting within the smoke, and actually Jing has gone down. Mystic being able to
the smoke is important.
The cross, they can actually start getting on the diffuser. Watch out, though. Mind Freak is lurking in the back lines. You've seen the res already come through, and while Benkai is the only man standing, he's done a lot of damage onto the players, trying to get that diffuser, even manages to get the connection onto Boaster. They're trying to press
good
him,
retake,
but
still 6-6 on defense is not
exactly where it should be.
Yeah, neck and neck at the half.
This is the disappointment for Fnatic, because they literally chose this composition to win on defense.
That's the lifeline that they needed, keeping them alive in this half. Now we get to see their attack. Look,
yo, Dart, thank you very much for the 35 months, bro. Welcome back, Broski. How are you doing? Welcome back. 35 months in a row. Holy shit. Who was at the analyst desk here, by the way?
I don't know if you think I'm a wizard or something, but like,
Mimi and
no
Brun.
Okay. That question. This is an insane game. This is a genuinely amazing game that we're seeing between these two teams. And
what was the Fade Eye? The Fade Eye was meant to go on the Okay, let me explain to you, because it's actually a good eye. What he wanted to do is put the eye on the top of the roof here, because it has enough angle to reach the players here that are defusing the spike without being like exposed to the players that are closing in him on A main, so they can shoot it while he can shoot the player that is defusing. It's actually a pretty good eye. Ah, shit, whiteboard.
Genuinely out of the gate, you're just seeing what players like Forsaken are able to do, the amount of space that they can take so fast.
Already just having a world caliber game, I think, between both of these teams, because when we saw PRX playing the same kind of manner and stylisms that they were going up against, I think it was Guild, the adjustments were coming way too late, but Fnatic are on a different level, even in EMEA. They're on a different tier, and that is manifesting here today.
Yeah, I mean, the adjustments have been fantastic out of Fnatic, but on top of that, Forsaken has just been having a fantastic game. We talked about the lurks, the casters, we're talking about the lurks. Both him and Mind Freak have been finding so many little gaps to give options in the mid round for this team. Well, Jing is the star on the attacking side. It was Forsaken really taking that cake. But the biggest thing to talk about in this series, I think, thus far, has been Alpha and this Sage pick, because it was an attempt at a direct counter, and we saw some cool ideas. This wall in particular was something new that Alpha was showing us, and initially it was
it's not new. By the way, it's not new. This is something that we have seen a year and a half ago when Sage was meta pick. Like, this wall on CT was being literally used in EMEA a year and a half ago.
See that round there, where the wall gets set on up, Jing goes into sight, he's isolated, but PRX, they adapted off of it.
Yes, they made these adjustments. As soon as they see this wall being played, they make the play towards mid. But this final clip here that we have of Durka, this is the round 7 adjustments that Fnatic made with their defensive protocol. Durka sets up these angles, anticipating the rotations from PRX. And I love honestly, the battle between both of these teams, because the mid-rounding was a huge element as to why PRX was so good the last time they played Ascent. But Fnatic's calling and their structure are going pound for pound with Benkai. Boaster and Enzo, I think that IGLing presence, when they're up against Benkai, it's manifesting here, and you can see how close it is in this game right now. 6-6. Yeah. Who knows which way this series is going to go?
I mean, the layers of adjustment have been insane between the two IGLs. I think the Sage pick, again, a massive part of that. The question now is, we head in towards the second half, who is on top? Because this composition, it's excellent for the defensive side out of PRX.
All right, well, let's go ahead and send it.
Wait, what?
On top, the Sage pick, again, a massive part of that. The question now is, we head in towards the second half, who is on top? Because this composition, it's excellent for the defensive side out of PRX.
So I don't want to be the dick, right? But there were so many talking points about, like, Fnatic. Why did they choose this composition? Why did they play Sage? Why did they fail on defense? Because this is a fail from Fnatic. But we didn't hear, like, why did it happen? We didn't hear about the lack of presence on mid. We didn't hear about the lack of confidence on the double peaks from Fnatic. Like, also overpeaking, misbuys on the on Fnatic and both PRX side. We didn't hear about Decker overstepping his boundaries, not saving the guns, losing 2 times operator for no reason at all. Like, we didn't hear anything about the actual reason why Fnatic lost this half, you know? And that's something that bugs me personally, because I think it's disingenuous towards the viewers, because the viewers will be like, oh, 6-6, PRX needs to be fucking really good, but they don't know why. They don't know what happened that a team like Fnatic just lost a half on a team that they should be like kind of just disassembling with this kind of composition on defense, you know? And yeah, you know?
So not
on
quite
this
as
map.
good. Yeah, on this map versus FPX. So a close one at that.
Let's see what Fnatic is doing, but I'm guessing this is going to be a very heavy default Ascent attack side because of the composition.
We'll see what they have planned for this defense. I've already being thrown over the top.
Dagger only gets 1.
Fake out a little bit of information early. Forsaken just looking to try and play within the smoke. Placed down by
PRX now knows about 1 player from B-Link.
And with Enzo still having prowlers, I'd be surprised if they're caught.
Chcesz zarobić $1000 dzisiaj,
What the
a potem
fuck, dude?
$1000 dziennie, każdego dnia.
$1,000 per day? Holy shit. And it only takes 5 minutes?
Oh, the boom bot, it gave the distraction that was needed, the time.
Yeah, the timing was also pretty bad, because the Omen smoke is 15 seconds long, and they just peak in the worst possible moment. This is like a bit mistimed.
Ready to hold down, but the team resets. They move through mid. You know, we TP'd out of here a moment ago. That flash is good. Devi doesn't realize they've gone past him. They're in the spawn behind, and Devi has no idea. Durka able to take 1 before going down. That mistake corrected, and then doubled down on.
Super disjointed by Fnatic. Super disjointed by Fnatic. But they overpush. Literally this round is Devi and Benkai go for, we won already. And they, from we won already, it goes to, oh shit, we might actually lose.
Hold strong. A little bit longer.
He basically caught that nade. A nice nade from Jinx. I feel like they needed to put him down, but yeah, Devi, huge mid-hold. Like, the fact is, he lets someone go past unintentionally, and then ends up killing that player anyway, while also catching the rest of the Fnatic team. Because that was the thing. The reason Fnatic pressure that is
you can't compare CS quality with a game that's new as Valorant, even the players haven't figured out everything. Of course you can. Of course you can, because it's fucking upsetting that you have 20 years, over 20 years of CS experience in the making that you can use for this game. The fact that teams make basic mistakes and have no clue how to play fundamentally only showcases that they don't give a fuck about playing the game properly. That's it. It took CS 20 years or like 15 years to actually play the game well, you know? And like, I mean, I'm not a CS expert, but Astralis is like fundamentally was the first team that I think was playing the best, you know, out of every team. And they kind of brought the level up, but that should have been like a paragon of behavior of how you should transfer this to Valorant. And it's just disappointing to not see that.
Forsaken away. So you go, okay, there must be a gap. There was not a gap.
Yep. They had very much planned for that in the early round, him to go aggressive. I almost feel like if he doesn't see contact in the first couple, he might even go for the TP right away, fill in the gap on the A side.
Like, Fnatic's composition right now heavily relies on defaulting and on Chamber getting like initial contact if PRX is pushing too much. But this composition is literally relying on opponent making mistakes rather than you're making any plays. You know?
Tension and a good bait play out, PRX.
Like, this is why the failure at defense from Fnatic is setting up it's setting up against them. Because their composition is not made for attacking. Casting fundamentals, not gameplay fundamentals? No. Gameplay fundamentals. Like proper spacing, trading, saving guns, playing advantages. You know? Like all of that shit should have been known. Should have been known by the players already, but it's not. Smokes. Yeah, the funniest thing is, okay, smokes might not be the best example because smokes in CS are very fucking odd, you know? Like, smoke in CS don't have like a very particular shape. So unless you do a pixel perfect smoke, you don't know exactly how the smoke will look like, you know, in CS. In Valorant, there was a very conscious choice by the designers to make the smokes in every single character very obvious in what they do, which is great for the gameplay, because now you're able to play perfect smokes. Perfect, absolutely perfect smokes. Doesn't matter which agent you play, but the controller that has smokes can play perfect smokes. And somehow, the players are not taking that advantage, which is unreal to me. But this is on the coaches and the analysts of the team rather than on the players. I don't expect the players to master the game on a strategical level, but the coaches and the analysts of that team, that's their job.
Classics if you make an overextension.
Oh no, don't go back to short. Don't go back to short. You don't know what you're walking.
Do you have any plans on going pro in Valorant? No, I'm not good enough to play pro in Valorant. What? But also, I wouldn't like to even. Like, fuck me, man. That's being a pro player in any game is just so exhausting. So many hours.
Out of the headhunter from Durka to try and hold for top mid contact, and here it comes. They haven't swung wide enough, and Durka is now distracted, looking over at Sean.
Oh, he's now back.
Come back and forth. 2 quick kills. A little bit of damage out of Fnatic. You know,
Mind Freak being over aggressive right here, but they just go in and just get only one death. Mind Freak a little bit over aggressed, but then every other player in that team also over aggressed, so they just swarm the players in. Which is like the mistake from Mind Freak was salvaged by the rest of the team, so it was in line. So it's not exactly a mistake, it was more like a plan. But if they wouldn't be aggressive, then Mind Freak made the mistake.
Like Jing having his ulti on low.
Yeah, he got a few himself. I feel like the flash was definitely not the best that came out of Dubai, but it was.
Do you know of CSGO coaches which went to Valorant coaching? I think almost every single coach in Valorant from EMEA was playing CS or coaching CS, if I'm not mistaken.
Need to turn the tide. They've got
or was at least involved, you know?
Alongside Mystic and Enzo, we've seen that from FPX many a time. Look at where the defense is, though. 2 players in mid. Are they going to blast back straight down into tiles?
Oh, yes, they are.
Jesus Christ. Mind Freak is playing... So this is not a bonus round because Mind Freak has no cash. I don't... So, okay, macro perspective. PRX just has a round where Mind Freak doesn't have a gun, essentially, right? Because he's buying this round is most likely lost by PRX. Most likely lost, right? But if they lose, Mind Freak doesn't have a full buy for the next round. So if I would be Mind Freak here, and I know what is the plan is to be super aggressive by Jin and most likely throw the round. There's a very high chance that he's gonna die without doing anything, and that puts our team as a disadvantage, but it's fine because it's a bonus round. We're taking those risks. But if we're taking those risks, Astra should not be buying a gun because he should be able to buy a gun for the next round because they're taking such a big risk right here, right?
And the flash up top as well. Thing is, this is kind of being given away.
What? How is Enzo... What? Why is Mystic going back? He hears the players going from mid. He hears the blast back, right? What the fuck is going on over here?
Players in mid. Are they going to blast back straight down into tiles?
Oh, yes, they are.
No, not Mystic. Alpha here. Alpha hears the double satchel. And they just go back. And they just completely forget about this player. This is some massive miscommunication from Fnatic. Massive miscommunication by Fnatic.
Not reading into the blast pack play. They've been caught off. And now that push comes through from main. These forces.
I don't know. What was the position of the A players before?
Oh, yes.
Why is look at Mystic. Why is he playing like this?
Blast back straight down into tiles.
Why is Mystic just looking at Boaster at the beginning of the round?
Oh, yes.
Literally playing 4v5 right here. Literally playing 4v5 right here because Mystic is just looking at a wall. at the beginning of the round.
They are. And a flash up top as well.
And he missed his dagger. No, wait, never mind. That's the opponent's dagger. I don't get this.
This is kind of being given away.
Very
They're
weird
not ready,
round.
though. Fnatic not reading into the blast pack play. They've been caught off. And now that push comes through from main. These forces, they group up. Their combined damage already yielding a number of opening duels. A lot of damage to this team. 7 HP left on Mystic as he goes back for a heal. He'll at least get most
Flash
of
from mid.
back,
The flash from mid, look, what it does achieve, right? We see the flash from being used on the players on A main, and it's being used by the KO here on the B link, right? But this B link flash, like it flashes halfway this player doesn't get affected at all. If I'm not mistaken, at least, wait. And it's not even that, like, you know that you're being pushed on mid, like, you're being flashed, but he's not being flashed. Alpha is not being flashed, right? And the thing is, they know about the push from mid. Alpha should be communicating this. So they should expect this push from mid, and they should be, like, those two players here, they should be repositioning here on B link, and, sorry, on behind the door, behind the house, and look at B link. And the player from the Sage should be playing in B main while playing from spawn. So they hold this aggressive push. But because of the exact opposing, like, look, this player is not paying attention to B link, and those players are paying attention to B main. So this is a huge misplay by Fnatic. It's just 3 seconds. They kind of unexpected it. If you're playing against PRX, if you don't expect a fast push on defense in the first 5 seconds, then you are not prepared. That's literally That's literally how PRX plays every game. It's not unexpected. This is actually the expected thing from PRX.
Their combined damage already yielding a number of opening duels. A lot of damage to this team. 7 HP left on Mystic as he goes back for a heal. He'll at least get most of his health back, but this is not an easy round now for Fnatic. They have been disrupted.
And also lack of mid control by... Like, look guys, the composition by Fnatic is literally play default. And they didn't play default because the player from top mid didn't do anything. So it's a huge issue. And I'll be honest with you, this round falls on Mystic and Alpha.
Run into their spawn with the Spectre, but
Alpha should have been using his slow to use it. Like, insta moment they hear the satchels, Alpha should have probably used both of his slows. One from B main, one for the B link. You know? Like, that should be his first thing to do. Oh, we're being pushed, we're flash. Okay. Slow. That's why you're bringing Sage to this composition. You know?
Mystic does trade it back, though. This whole time, they've made all that noise on mid to tell these players, hey, look, I'm the furthest forward. I'm the point of contact, the tip of the spear. But actually, it's Boaster. Not a spear, but a dagger trying to make his way in behind them. They've spotted him just in time, though. I don't think he's getting out. Oh, he is getting out of this one.
Okay, Mindfreak just... Sorry, Benkai just peeks in. Weird stuff, man.
This is winnable.
Oh, it should be winnable from here.
Fuck me, man.
With
And PRX just over-aggressive. They got so many advantages in the beginning of the round, and they just throw it by being over-aggressive. But that's just PRX playstyle. No! Dude. So I'm not gonna lie. I thought Alpha is playing a lot of Sage. In general. 70 rounds, 80 rounds. Yeah, he's not. Actually, he's not. And this is the outcome. Like, he's picking an agent that he doesn't really feel comfortable on. He only played 79 rounds in competitive, like, tournaments on Sage. It's very visible. It's very fucking visible. Like, this is actually a huge issue. Every Sage that plays Ascent knows that this wall doesn't work. Like, every single Sage that plays, you know, a lot of Sage knows that this wall doesn't work because it's just how it is. It always breaks here. Always. And the fact that he didn't slow when they were being pushed also makes sense now, because he doesn't have the plays ingrained in his brain. You know? Like, he doesn't feel like, oh, we've been pushed, I'm not using the slow, because he doesn't play Sage a lot, so he doesn't have this as a reflex. And that is a huge problem. They chose this Sage because of the possibilities of what he can do. But holy shit, man.
But he's read this wrong. He expects Boaster to be rapid.
Muscle memory? It's not exactly muscle memory, because it requires like thought process behind this, and muscle memory doesn't require thought process, but like habits is something that you get to do when you're playing an agent a lot.
Sits within the boathouse. A chance for Forsaken. He picks up a rifle along the way as well. A bullet or two needed, but he's given away his position. Almost trying to bait him in, and eventually Boaster will close it. Way too close for comfort for Fnatic.
PRX over-aggresses, gets punished, right? But they over-aggress, they punish Fnatic. It's all over the place, man.
Penkai was caught by that player being there. They thought that this was a clear...
again, though.
Oh yeah, he went back out. Listen, I'm not going to excuse this second. Every probably would have liked to win a little cleaner, Tom. All the finances.
Oh, who would have expected that?
He's gone.
It's an eco, by the way. So they tried to combo reveal and the satchel play into the smoke. Essentially what happens here is, look at the position from Fade. She plays from short. She pushes an eye over here. So Jing double satchels into a smoke. He stands in the smoke and shoots the players that are being exposed by the Hound. And he is playing a Vandal, unfortunately, for some reason, where in this play, he should be playing a Phantom because he's spamming through a smoke. So his position is not revealed. If this would be, like, successful, it would have been much more successful with a Phantom than a Vandal. You know? Look, because he's gonna be spamming through this smoke. And if he's doing this with a Vandal, you can see his position because you're gonna see the traces. Not an eco? Yeah. Sorry, what did I said? No, it's not an eco. You're right, guys. I don't know why I said that.
He's gone, and they've got a reveal as well. The Haunt doesn't catch Jing. Also fell off the wall, but still, good attempt. I like to see the initiative, and that's not the only bit of aggression. They're pushing mid as well. An A main push, a mid push, a very passive B hold, but that's where Fnatic are going.
Because Phantom makes less noise? No. Phantom doesn't leave traces of the bullets if he's shooting through the smoke. Interesting trap. By interesting, I mean kind of bad. Yep. Punished by bad positioning. Like, really punished by bad position.
Come out with a tasty couple of assists there. A nice shot back from Forsaken, though the spam even doing further damage.
What the fuck? How the fuck this happened?
Tasty couple of...
Wait, it's 5v3. They push before the smoke appears, so they lose one player because of that.
There. A nice shot back from Forsaken.
And then Astra, Mind Freak, peeks and gets a double kill here?
Even doing...
Well, that's unfortunate. But still, like, Derka over-peeking before the smoke appears is a mistake.
And he just got 2-for-1!
And Boaster bails them out. But he has 2 HP.
He can TP to the other side of the map and he'll be able to get an afterplant.
30 HP and a nade.
He positions himself for anything, essentially. But he goes main. He knows the opponent have no smokes. He goes into short. I like that. Although, I do think that should have probably just gone into the garden anyway.
This is a position you're going to expect from Jing, right? Unless he's an absolute genius. You're even going to see the smoke coming through up from heaven. He's going to nade himself. Definitely not what the plan was, but he has absolutely no
that wasn't
idea.
the plan.
Now Boaster's bought enough time for himself to wrap all the way back around on the flank. A single bullet needed, and I don't think Jing has made the realization. He'll finally work it out, TP to the other side, but he hasn't even managed to get it close to halfway. Boaster almost just playing with his food as the peak comes out.
Good timing by Boaster. Good timing by Boaster, because he knows exactly when the opposing player needs to commit to the half defuse. He peeks in that moment. Like, remember, 3.5 seconds to get the half. I like this. Now this is the moment where Jin has to defuse, and he knows that if he peeks in 3 seconds, the player needs to hold the half, and he just gets him.
As the peak comes out, a fantastic clutch from Boaster, and the scoreline level once again, Mitch.
He was so happy that he clutched that he lost the gun. That, I mean, I'm not, you know, I know, emotions on LAN, but a misplay. He had time to go away. He had time to save the gun.
A fantastic clutch.
He had the
Boster.
time to
And the
save a gun
scoreline
here.
level once again, Mitch. He's even going to die to the spike. I think he was celebrating too much.
Yeah, I agree, Tom.
Can you blame him? Can never have been that lucky timing for Fnatic. A third with the victory and equalizing the scoreline.
And that's a mistake because now Boss is on a fucking bullpup.
Back in this game, and Tom, they might be right back in the lead. PRX have to take an eco, but for they're right back in this game, and Tom, they might be right back in.
What is Dirk doing? He's watching be short. What the fuck is going? Like, why is Fnatic so unprepared for the aggressive plays by PRX?
Right back in this game, and Tom, they might be right back.
It's a nice combo though of the. This is something that DRX was doing in the last Masters, by the way, and I didn't see many other teams. Look, so what is happening here is the defensive haunt lands here, but the flash is over here somewhere. So essentially, a player who wants to destroy the haunt is being flashed because he's looking at that direction. This is something that DRX, I think, popularized. I might be wrong, but I think it was DRX who popularized that during the last Masters. I remember on Icebox that they were doing like the arrow on B long while pairing it up with a flashbang, and players were just completely caught off guard.
Tom, they might be right back in the lead. PRX have
So,
to take an eco,
yeah.
but Forsaken, he's coming through with his
They're getting
just in
fucked.
time.
Well, that's the thing. It's an eco in terms of weaponry. It definitely is not an eco when it comes down to the ultimates. You're looking at 4 online. One of them has already had impact in the Tour de Force. You got a showstopper. You got a null command and Cosmic Divide. Maybe that'll play a part. Luckily for Fnatic, they do have their res. So Enzo's going to be back online. They're waiting to see if there's any re-aggression, but you can tell now Fnatic are going to be quite a bit more careful with the angles they're taking.
I'll tell you what, there was a moment where I'm thinking Jing's about to...
Thank God they had the alpha buy, but still, this is not looking good. This is not looking good.
Yeah, oh, I can see him hovering the key, man.
And look at Forsaken's reposition. He's now in A main. He was B main, now he's A main.
But he decided against it. Probably the right call, resetting and allowing this Tour de
Let's see if they dry peek into him, or if they use the dagger first. Hopefully not. Because if they dry peek into him, okay, they use the Prowler. But Boaster has a fucking Bulldog, and he can get a kill. Imagine if he has a Phantom, might have been a kill.
I don't think he can take his ult out just yet. Yeah, he's suppressed. He's got to run for his life, buy time, stay alive, and Fnatic are capitalizing on that.
Oh my god.
Alpha just tried to wall up in towards the site through the Cosmic Divide. Well, I question whether it would have impact. The ult definitely has a freebie kill.
Oh my god.
They might not have spotted this angle, but they actually use that haunt to give him a...
Wait, Mystic is stuck, right? No, wait, that's Divine. Never mind. Divine is just behind the fucking wall. 10 seconds left.
Clear, so the likelihood is Fnatic will have an afterplant, and more importantly, Boaster is still here behind them.
My god, what a chaotic round.
They imagine that he could be around this area. Maybe they'll clear it. Yes, they will. Okay, Vigilant on the way through. They managed to avoid giving him a pick, and oh, they don't want to hunt him down. That's the thing. It's just
Boaster is massive. Like, his presence is so massive against this retake because he buys time. Boaster not dying here is the most important aspect of this round. If he dies, the entire retake just swarms over the side. If he doesn't die, then the retake is always like in the back of their head is like, oh shit, there's fucking Omen somewhere here, you know?
Need to reset. They've got to look for the site, and that's Durka waiting for them, missing the shot. Enzo with a rifle in hand, holding down the lane.
So now the retake has to happen while ignoring the Omen, essentially. And Boaster gets the kill on the player in mid who is still watching for the Omen. So this retake is now like handicapped, but it's still winnable.
Dodging the reveal around behind the boxes, and Durka now with an up in hand gets that extra shot off.
And Boaster gets a second kill because the lurk is so impactful.
Forsaken with absolutely no chance to even get out.
That's the thing, he could try and hold them in. Bear in mind, they lost every player in the last round, so
yeah, this is not good for Fnatic. They just literally lost every single gun. Boaster didn't save that Phantom. Is gonna bite him back now.
You still have to bear in mind there is a null command, a showstopper, and now the rifles and an operator on the other side going into this round, whereas Fnatic had to burn almost everything.
It was a really well-played early round as well, though. The fact that you get that tag going on right away. Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, look at Fnatic, man. Oh, Jesus. And Derke... Wait, what? Oh, he saved it, right? Wait, what? No, wait, what I'm talking about? Yeah, he saved it. But he has his ultimate ready. He should be dropping this, right? He should be dropping this to anyone else and play his ultimate. Why is this thing not happening? Why is this thing not happening? I am so fucking upset. Of course it's worth to double operator on attack against PRX because those motherfuckers push you every round. You want to hold the angles with the operator. Like, you're playing 3 pistols right now when you could be playing like 3 guns. Like, I am actually really upset about this. Like, they should be playing here an operator on Derke's ultimate 100%. This is bonus round. It doesn't, guys, it doesn't matter if it's a bonus round. You look at the cash on the opponents. Look at this. You seeing this shit? Any death on PRX side is insanely important because next round they're gonna be with that player on a lower buy. So they're not gonna be able to buy rifles, essentially. Every kill is so important right now. So even if this is bonus round, it doesn't matter because it's actually fully winnable if you have 2 operators and a rifle, and every kill that you're able to do gives you not only 1 player not being fully equipped for the next round on round 19, but also if the gun is retrievable, then you're gonna have a 5v4 with 4 weapons versus 4 weapons and 1 player with a pistol. That essentially brings you up into an equal footing of a round, and this is not a bonus round anymore, it's an actual full buy round. If you just get 1 kill, just 1 kill. And Fnatic is playing a composition that relies on defaulting. You can default with 2 operators because your plan is not to push a site with 5 players. You are not built to do that. The composition is not for that. And they know they're playing against PRX, who push in the first few seconds of the round anyway, so double operators are fantastic against PRX playstyle. Like, it's a huge mistake. In my eyes. Fucking absolutely huge mistake. Okay, now you should be dropping the operator to someone else. Like, you can still remedy this situation. You should be throwing this gun away to someone else, pop the ultimate, hold the angles a little bit, get the mid control, get that gun, and you have huge advantage. Huge advantage here.
And it's caught it. Yeah, no, it's a strange one. Like you said, coming out of previous round, though, they lost so many players. They survived the previous with, was it nobody or just the one that came through?
I think it was 2.
No, the one before.
Oh, the one before was nobody, yeah.
Post the smokes mid to retrieve the gun. Yep. Okay. Drop the fucking operator. Use the ultimate. Let's go.
Yeah, and I guess when you have Derke, you can almost take that gamble every once in a while because there's a good opportunity. He might just win you the round.
Nope, they're not doing it. Okay.
Rifle retrieve.
But this is already like a huge advantage. Fnatic should be gathering now together. Leave probably Boaster on lurk. But the problem is, Boaster has the gun as a lurker. Might not be ideal. Mystic is stuck with the spike, and he has to travel through mid.
When he gets in this zone.
And Boaster dies first. How the fuck did he die? That is a huge mistake by Boaster. Like, his role here, his role is to be the lurker, because the the opposing 4 players should be gathering together. If Boaster overpeaks, he nullifies the advantage that they gathered. Not only he loses the gun that they needed so much, but also loses the control as a lurker. And he, right now, did a execute by himself while the Fnatic team had 4 lurkers. Huge mistake. And Boaster, in every other round, played it correctly. This is the round where he plays it incorrectly, gets punished, and it brings Fnatic to a huge disadvantage this round.
In this zone. And actually, Boaster's gone down, trying to sneak his way through again, and now it's just free. It's so free.
And now it's lost. They have no smokes. They lost the advantage. Derke gets another kill. And it's again, like, okay, it's 3 versus 3, but we have no smokes. We cannot get the spike out without being exposed to Forsaken.
It looks like they might just want to drive peek into this, a little bit of utility to clear.
Yeah, how do you get this?
Get the spike.
They haven't got it. They're not even close. They're still worried about him. Finally, though, a star comes back online. It looks like we might have an attempt out of the defensive side to crunch in on that spike. Getting past the utility for a moment. So they used the smoke to walk past the trap on A, but then have gone back.
PRX is gambling that they're going to go A side. They don't, so they're not gonna play retake on B. Oh no!
Duel versus Enzo is actually a huge deal. Now Derke gonna try and reclaim this angle.
Why Fnatic? Just why, man?
You can already see the ult was almost utilized by Benkai.
They have a. That was the player with the gun. Dude, I can't watch this.
Nightmare is not even going to connect onto him. So Derke is still going to have all his sound. Waiting, nice shot from Alpha here as well. But the shot missed from Derke. Turning it back into that 2v2 scenario. Looking to try and swing into this operator. A second miss. And now Alpha is the last man standing. All he has is his pistol. Trying to turn this around. The first goes his way, but Mind Freak will drop him. Once again, we got... Thing. Even though
I think I spoke enough about this round. So this grenade from KO goes onto stairs. And by the way, look at the buy from PRX right now. Forsaken, no armor operator. Bulldog and a Spectre. But it was a winnable round. Fnatic could have gone to 10 if they would just play it a little bit smarter. And also, why is... I rest my case. I rest my case. Why is Derke not using his ultimate right here if he didn't use it last round? This makes no fucking sense. If your plan next round is to use the fucking Vandal, then you 100% should have dropped the operator to the other player.
Look at the buy for PRX. That's the thing. Even though it wasn't the normal spot for a bonus, the money sucks right now for PRX. We're going to see a fast-paced move. Null command initiated instantly. Counter stars placed to hold them back that little bit longer.
That's the only. But you remember at the beginning of the game, I literally said the Omen TP is the only mobility that they have. So he's essentially acting as a dash that is like really bad. That is like still a huge fucking risk to do this TP. He's being pressured from all. He probably didn't even hear the wall up because of the fucking chaos and also LAN. So he had a really bad position against this. What the fuck? How did no one die there? It was on the top of the Enzo dropped down, right? Yeah, Enzo, look. The ultimate is on the top of it. Enzo dropped down. He literally just dodged it. If Jin would have shoot the rocket like in Quake, so towards the fucking wall instead of towards the floor here, he would have gotten a kill.
Igno's just gone through, but he hasn't managed to connect again. The showstopper seems meaningless. He just uses it to blast himself into the air, trying to fight back, and he somehow gets another one. Eventually, he's put in the dirt, but he's done enough. His teammates even it again.
I don't know how Jing's managed to keep them alive in this one, but still that heartbeat is starting to become faint, and Fnatic fade away completely. But still that
his teammates even it again.
I don't know how Jing's managed to.
And the problem is that Mystic needs to play this position because they don't know, they didn't plant the spike yet. So he's fucked. He needs to hold the player that is planting, so they're not holding lane, so he cannot be exposed to lane. And because of that, he's getting fucked by the flash.
This one, but still that heartbeat is starting to become faint, and Fnatic fade away completely. PRX take a 10th here. Blink and you miss it on that one, Tom.
And remember, all of that is like a all the bad economy now going towards Fnatic's side will be they didn't use like the ability to convert rounds because of utility that they had at their disposal. Not saving the gun when Boaster clutched the round, it's also a mistake that is now biting them back into the ass. They have one less gun right now in this round.
One of those rounds you'll be hanging your head afterwards.
Derke has 8 bullets the fucking entire fucking game. It pisses me so much. Derke, I think on the pro level, Derke is the worst chamber when it comes to utility usage. I'm not gonna lie. The TPs are fine, but the bullets and the ultimate usage is just so inefficient, so unoptimal. It's actually crazy.
Upset, and you let it go that a player can pop off like that on PRX and put you onto an eco, potentially an 11-9 scoreline. Jinx, same.
Again, the same setup. PRX already did this. And Enzo gets punished second time. Exactly the same setup.
This pace is a possibility, and that's the spike drop. Jing is just lightning fast, and there's nothing the Fnatic can do about it. 2 versus 5.
It really feels like Fnatic just didn't prepare and don't learn during the rounds against PRX.
Tour de force, so like, yeah, smoke it up. They're not going to push into that with a tour de force, are they? Yeah. It's a big risk.
And they've got a res as well if they ever wanted to try and throw that in. I don't think this will be the round they're going to use it, but I love the fact that every time we see that same push. Alright, okay. They might have had a little bit of tunnel vision there.
Imprezka? Chrupnij krakersy Lace Oven Baked. Doskonały
They
35% pełnego ziarna.
I can't, man. What am I? It's not about the left-hand model. It's not about that. It's like, why are you even going there? Your opponents are trapped in the fucking spawn. They need to go to you because they need to retrieve the spike. And because of that, now we're gonna see like over-rotation. Like, fuck me, man.
With one being pulled back, still so much for Fnatic to do. They're in the attacker spawn with 40 seconds left and half the manpower their opponents have to work with. Mind Freak still has a ton of stars. Utility really not looking to be...
He got actually hit. Mind Freak actually got hit by this.
Any sort of problem. And there you go. And that nade is about to ruin his day.
Yeah.
Jing's got 4.
He had to stay in the smoke.
The showstopper's almost back, Tom. Not that that's really going to mean anything from what we've seen.
The thing is, I feel like if you look at this round in like layman's terms, you look at it in the bare bones, you say, Jing is a madman, he's running them, and he's getting a load of kills.
Yeah.
Is not the case. It's not the case. The fact they have a pop flash to blind the person, they have a stun for anybody at the back, and they have a haunt that they have to lean up to shoot.
This is the same setup, by the way. So it's literally for the 4th time that PRX is using the same shit, and Fnatic doesn't learn. Haunt on the top of the building, flash above the haunt, and Enzo gets wrecked by it 3 times in a row now. I mean, not a row, but literally Enzo dies twice to the same push and gets baited by the haunt 3 times. Like, they just don't learn.
Now see that make PRX god tier.
Look,
Jing alone is good.
You can do that every round in ranked, and it's not going to work the majority of the time. You're going to look silly going blast packing down mid, and it's funny to watch it and go, but how can a pro team not? He's blast packing mid. Come on, you can hear it. He's done it already, but it's because, yeah, like you said, there's so many other things for them to worry about. There's the blast packs, there's the haunt, there's the stun, there's all these things coming their way, and now a tour de force to deal with. But they have managed to take down Bangkai on
The lurker player for this round, I mean, I explained this already. Fnatic is a default heavy team because of the composition right now. And that player who should be just holding an angle like a killjoy turret dies first, essentially ruins whatever they can do. But fortunately, they have the res, and PRX doesn't punish the res because they have nothing to punish it with. It's... I don't know, man.
Because if it is, that's genius. It's like, okay, well, he's trying to take side control. I have to run back and fight him. Jing, though, just re-aggressive. Durka's alive for about 5 seconds, and he's already dead once again.
Dude, Durka is like, I don't know. Not a single TP setup as well. Not a single TP setup. Why are you playing Chamber right now? Did he have any TP setup when it was beginning of the round? No, not a single one. He didn't use a single TP this entire round, and he died twice.
Ready to set up in towards this A site. Nade looking at that cross as well to try and slow them down if needed. No ultimate.
So, I said that Durka is probably the worst player, sorry, the worst chamber out of all of the tier 1s, apart from the TPs, but this is like now a round that he literally butchered because he didn't set up a single TP the entire round.
For FNATIC, so getting in here is not going to be easy.
Okay, they get one. Wow. Wait, how does it fucking hit him? What?
At that cross as well to try and slow them down if needed.
With the dagger.
No
what?
Ultimates available either for FNATIC, so getting in here is not going to be easy. Unless
this is the line. He jumped into it. Oh my god. Imagine if he jumps here, he doesn't get affected.
He just jumped into it! He jumped into the knife while he had the oh no! The showstopper was out, and then he just
nice wall by Alpha to get more space. 4v2 should be unlosable. 4v1, and that's the wrong.
Clutch.
Within heaven, and that is a disaster. How has he gotten to?
I don't know, but it seems like they've gone tunnel vision into their position somehow.
Boaster was busy micromanaging. Third round, this game only, where Boaster is completely caught off guard because he's paying attention to everything else than the game. He's the IGL, he has a lot of his responsibilities, but he's getting punished by it. Third time, just this match. Just this map. And now, they know where he is. They know where he is, right? They can play Crossfire. Let's see if they do anything like that.
Knowing roughly where a couple of these players are, Enzo just sat.
Mystic is what?
Player almost directly below him, making this drop should be
he made noise. He made noise, and Mystic overpeaks. So. Enzo questionable? No, Enzo did not make a mistake. This is on Mystic. Mystic is the player that should be playing the contact. Because if the player jumps down from heaven, either here or here, right? Then either Mystic playing from under here has the contact here and Enzo can play on his contact, right? Or if the player just jumps down here, then Mystic still have the contact and Enzo can play off him, while Enzo can just control the doors and be the contact play there. And of course, he's not tradable if someone peeks from the doors, but that shit happens. Like, you have to take a risk in this position because you have no way of doing crossfire for both positions. So Mystic over peeking here, well, he didn't have to. Like, literally pay attention. Pay attention to Mystic position. Look.
Drop should be instant death, but he's actually got a little bit further. He isolates the first, and there's no trade for Enzo. This 1v4 is on, and it leaves it down just to one man standing, pinged up by the Haunt, looking for the final player, and somehow Mindfreak brings this back. It looked like a done deal after a slip-up from PRX, but somehow
this is just solely on Mystic. Alpha was the first contact, he died, shit happens. Boaster was asleep, died because of that as well, right? But it's still like fully manageable if Mystic doesn't do anything. But he did something.
Yeah, his clutch potential.
But the problem that I see is that if a tier 1, our best EMEA team doesn't know how to set up a post plan in a high pressure situation, how can you expect any ranked player to do anything actually logical?
Potential is off the charts right now. There were a couple of
Like,
opportunities
what Elza is doing there is like also questionable, but it's not his fault.
for Jing
You know?
in that round. There were a couple of opportunities for PRX as a whole.
And this round is like, you know, I'm trying to be always objective, right? And this round, Fnatic should... Oh my god, man. The coach should be absolutely fucking furious. After the game, right? After the entire game, they should rewatch this round probably like 10 times and do a quiz for every player. What they should have done instead.
Never would I have thought that Mind Freak was going to be the one to dig them out of this hole. He had nothing. He didn't even have a star to work with in this. This is just raw firepower, taking them across the line. You see from the PRX facility way over in Singapore.
4v1, man.
Feeling pretty good about their team's chances here. 12-9.
They didn't, guys, they didn't need to swing together. They didn't need to do anything. That's the thing. Not doing anything is more, it's doing more than doing something. Mystic just needed to play for contact when the player goes down from heaven, or Enzo is the contact when the player goes from doors, and that's it. Like, look, guys, it's very fucking simple. I will show you the best position here that Fnatic can play in a 2v1. This is the spike is here. Mystic is in hell. He's up below, right? Astra is on top. And Enzo is here. So Enzo is watching doors from here, right? Mystic could be playing from hell. Ay, caramba. Like this. Hugging the right side of the wall, like here, and watching this. This is Mystic's position from hell, right? And Jin has to do something. The only thing that he can do is either go through the doors or through heaven. He already was known to be in heaven. He was running out of time. So, the best play for Fnatic is Mystic just fucking stays in this position, doesn't move his ass, right? If the player jumps down here, nothing happens. The player still needs to go into Spike and gets into the contact of Mystic. That's where Enzo peaks. Even if the Astra gets the kill on Mystic, unless he does a 180 Hiko fucking swing, he's not killing the player from behind him. And Enzo has a free kill, like 99%, right? If the player jumps down from heaven like this, Enzo most likely will die, but Mystic has the trade. And the same happens. If the player goes from the doorway, this is the worst case scenario for Fnatic because it's not fully efficient against every single scenario, but the Astra can make still a mistake. If she goes and wide swing like this, right, here, into Enzo's contact, then Mystic can reposition by doing a right swing and have a crossfires and have a trade ready for Enzo, right? If the Astra goes close up here and swings from here, then the trade is not possible, and Mystic can just play time and just play like, you know, just play a 1v1, and this is the worst possible outcome. But other than that, there's no way of throwing this round. There's absolutely no way of throwing this round unless Mystic does this and just peeks against a player who was not even close to the spike. That's it. What if he jumps on top of Jenny? Well, then he's exposed. If the let's go back to this original position. If the Astra jumps on top of Jenny, then Mystic swings, Enzo swings, the player is exposed to both angles. And he needs to do sound cues from here into here. Like, it's the most obvious thing that he can do because he needs to do 2 sound cues instead of doing no sound cues and maybe no sound cues, but he actually did a sound cue here as well. So Mystic had a full info that the guy jumped down from the box and yet he peeked into him. Util is not even important in this round. Like, it's not about the utility. It's about basic knowledge and how we should behave in a clutch.
To close it out here on map.
It's disappointing to say the least.
On the attack side, up against a fierce PRX that are going in again.
Again, the same setup. This time, Alpha just kills him, luckily. But again, Fnatic no response to the third time double satchel mid, and that's it.
Sectioned into their spawn, but they're not done.
And they overpeak.
I swear that's the second time this game Alpha has not realized someone's there and still killed them anyway. I don't know how he's getting away with this. It's almost
really
like,
disappointing.
I don't see you, you don't see me, but somehow it's worked out for them. Forsaken still gets the kill onto Enzo. It has left him very low on HP, but what Alpha has already done in this round, well, I don't even want to say it should be enough because they just lost a 1v4.
That was an ambitious attempt out of PRX, something that's had a lot of success for them in the past, and honestly, the difference this time is just that flash blinded Jing. If it doesn't, they win. If that goes the way it did the last 2-3 times, he's good for one minimum, and it will be the Sage taken out. But instead, we come back into this with Alpha, 2 kills under his belt already, aggression attempted and succeeded.
I mean, I'm not surprised that PRX are not trying.
What? He's caught Mystic on the fade back. And keeping control.
I'm not surprised that PRX are not playing super aggressive because they have disadvantage. So they're trying to get as many kills as possible. They can try to go 2 for 1, you know?
That's what they're going to do, the ladder. But he's not done. Forsaken. Well, he's thinking about going through it with a left.
He actually goes right side when he had the possibility to go left side with the TP. Interesting.
Now it's Benkai's turn. One less than last time, but you can see homed in on the angle. Alpha watching, waiting for someone to try and make that move. The Prowler gives away Durka's position, but clearing out these players underneath, well, it shouldn't be easy. It shouldn't be possible. And now they know exactly where he is. He's not getting that opportunity.
Yeah, see? Now there's a double swing.
This time does come through from Fnatic.
Yep, all you can do in that situation for Benkai is attempt to create your own opportunities, but really it relies on Fnatic making big misplays, and they certainly did. This just is utterly ridiculous. And the immediate reset from Alpha, you see his
and I'm gonna, this is for someone who is 17 years of age is ridiculous.
Oh, that nade is perfect. Now have to step right back out of A main, and even suffering a little bit of damage along the way. Shields mostly stripped off of Boaster.
They know where he TP'd to, so they know about the chamber going market now.
The control they looked for on A. They've taken some damage. And outside of B,
they have the Enzo ultimate, but they use one Prowler. I'm also a little bit disappointing at this because now they only have one Prowler for the ultimate. And the Prowlers are they gain so much value whenever they ultimate, you know? Wait, what is going on? Why is Durka going in first when they didn't clear anything? And they have the ultimate, and they have Boaster Paranoia, and they have a Prowler, they have a Haunt, they have a Flash, they have everything not to dry peek. And Durka just dry peeks.
Taking this duel, and they are anything but.
And now they have Enzo ultimate and no Prowlers. Boasted remedies one player on mid. Davai, for no reason at all, peeks into shit.
They've got the rares, while Forsaken's gone as well. Turning this into a 5 versus 2. Both players very far apart. And with the pincer coming through that market, I don't know what Benkai can do from here.
He should be done.
30 seconds left.
This is deathmatch. So disappointing to see.
He's gonna try and keep them inside of main, misses it, and well, goes out to his death. That was an expected outcome, really. Mind Freak left alone. A 1v5, Tom. Literally no chance he wins this. And
Forsaken had to peek to trade. That doesn't. Forsaken, Davai should have not been peeking here in the first place. That's first thing. And look. This is not a trade. This is just dry peeking. How many seconds? Look at the timer. Davai dies at 49. Forsaken peaks at 40-7. 2 seconds after that player dies. This is not a trade. This is just a dry fucking peak. Like, this is just a dry fucking peek. This is not a trade. This is just absolutely terrible decision making. No, he didn't have to do it. I mean, it's still fucked. Like, this round is most likely a save round for the defenders. They should not be fighting. They already lost this round. They should be saving those guns.
Pints are coming through that market. I don't know what Benkai can do from here.
He should be done.
30 seconds left.
Don't worry about the stairs on their way through. They're about to smoke him off. And, well, does he want to go through it? No. He's going to try and keep them inside of main. Misses it, and then, well, goes out to his death.
Why is even Benkai trying to fight here?
Mind Freak left alone. A 1v5, Tom. Literally no.
There isn't. I think he can. It's the most. Freak saver.
Just taken down Durka, but.
And Mind Freak died as well. Look at the cash. What did they have? It was a 3v5. They should have been saving all the 3 guns that they had, but obviously not gonna happen.
But there's no real impact of that, right? I think even if he killed everyone in Fnatic, they're able to buy up for this last round.
You should see PRX coach mold whenever they do this stuff and lose. I really question, like, if teams do something like this, there are 2 possible outcomes. The players don't listen to the coach, or the coach is not aware of the stuff happening, or he can't teach them. There's no other way. There's no other way. Or the IGL is not capable of transferring whatever the coach is teaching them.
Nothing for Benkai.
Are you doubting the frenzy?
Well,
do you remember
3 players on light.
They are doing the setup that they did before with Jin. Not using the Phantom. He goes for the Vandal. And the Flash will be there as well. So this is a setup that we have seen before. I goes somewhere here. Flash goes over here. So they bait into looking into it. And Jin goes into the smoke and tries to shoot through the smoke with a Vandal, which is questionable. Should be a Phantom. But that's the setup that they tried to do. And they already tried doing this. 1 round.
Not ideal, but Jing's gone. He's sending it again. The reveal's huge. Jing's got 2. That Jing's gone. He's sending it again. The reveal's huge. Jing's got 2.
I wonder how many people divided this flash.
And finally, PRX get the success out of it. Couldn't be a better round for it. Now those disadvantages, well, they don't look so bad when you've got a 4v3.
That was gorgeous. As you said, they attempted it a couple of times. This is the one time it's properly paid off for PRX.
Also, I'm not really certain.
So bad when you've got a 4v3. A better round again. And huge. Final round and a half. Like, it's not ideal, but Jing's gone.
Ah, look at Boaster position. He was trying to do the standard TP to avoid the one-way, so he couldn't like help with the paranoia if there's a push happening. Fuck me, man. Yeah.
He's sending it again. Now those disadvantages, well, they don't look so bad when you've got a 4v3.
It's properly paid off for PRX, and
this is the round where PRX just needs to hold default. Like, that's it. They just need to hold default, wait for the opponents to go into their side. Hey, Godsend.
Get aggressive, but not this time. Forsaken sat in the corner towards the logs. He's got the crossfire as well with Mind Freak. You've got deep control on A as well. It's only really mid that has any gaps, and even that's being watched sneakily by Benkai every once in a while.
It's hard to imagine this goes their way. Forsaken's able to TP back.
I can understand why he's using the Prowler right here before using the ult.
Set up on site with his teammate.
Well, he's only using it for sight. Now the one Prowler goes in.
He's actually not gotten a kill. Durka made it out. A little bit of information to play.
And now the ult has no value.
Right, they're relying on Boaster again, making it through mid. He's
Boaster got this lurk through mid because of the smoke, through the smoke, through the trap. Durka again goes in first. 10 seconds left, and he's stuck. Omen is so important here. Oh my god. It was spammed, so he tried to jumping it down. That is unfortunate, but Boaster just single-handedly wins this round.
Both players tagged, and now it's left on to Enzo. Acquired a game from him thus far.
Of course, if he stays alive, but hard to do after that.
Facing the other way. He's heard that window broken.
It's planted not for him. He has an eye. He can put it on any of the roofs.
An
Okay.
initial fight, and he finds it. Mind Freak once again left into the clutch. Even going to tap onto that spike. In fact, he's looking to try and stick it at least halfway. The Haunt has given him away, and it's a rematch from before. And once again, Mind Freak is going to win it. PRX, they have taken map 1.
Again and again.